We'll be fine. I did a test run. However, if you all want, if you all have an earbuds and you want to pull up the YouTube just to hear how we sound, or if you have anyone that you can say, hey, tune into this YouTube real quick and see how we sound, that would be great.
Okay.
But I think I got it all today.
Ethan said he was coming.
Do we have anybody else?
Ethan
It's
said he was
open,
coming,
so.
and Shia said she's 15 minutes late.
Okay.
So,
Oh, I ain't turn the light on. That don't look too dark.
Stormy, how you feeling?
I'm amazing.
She sure is.
Thank you. It's diamond studded. I said, okay, and the sailor.
And crusty. Oh, no. My brother said I look like a TWA flight attendant from the 60s.
Back in the day.
Listen,
I your prestige
down to the
blue.
shoe.
but the bougie one, okay?
They was working. Look, they was working together to come pick you up. you was flying the plane. That's the attendant, and y'all was coming to pick her up for the premiere.
Yeah.
Private plane.
Exactly. That's how you do it.
I heard the theme to Coming to America when he walked in. I was like,
It was too off for the
This
first.
is just sit on there, yeah.
Yeah, that's not gonna work for my one.
You wanna try this one? You can, you got nigga ready to ask some kind of.
Oh, the post.
I sent you photos.
Yeah, all right, thank you. Yeah, we can get those.
I'm pretty sure you, the weekend is just now coming.
Yeah, and I have work today, so I have one day in between. Well, I had some days off. But I'm just saying, like, until I had to go.
Yeah, but
back.
energy, peopling is way more
Yeah.
work than anything else.
Listen.
Especially for me.
Y'all see,
And I like
we
people.
dipped out. I was like,
Yeah.
it's a lot of people here, but I was, look, I wanted to see it. I was like, bam,
It
out.
was a vibe, though.
It was.
Yeah.
It really was.
It was really good energy.
Oh, this is a nice one.
Yeah.
And it was so elegant too. It
It
was
was.
really nice venue and very fun.
I love it, you know. We
Yeah,
did
that was
our,
my first time
we
being there.
just stumbled across it.
We did our dungeon
Really?
party there.
Huh?
Because they got shut down.
I'm not
That's
from
another
here.
place.
Wait,
So,
Coco?
I've only been here 3 years.
How long have you been?
3
Oh,
years.
years.
That's it.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Because I'm
Is
over
she-
there in Canada.
Look at you coming in
And
and
she
doing
did
big
the
moves
dungeon
and
fair.
doing
So
big
I
shit
did
in the
one
city.
here
Where
in
you from?
Richmond.
Northern Virginia.
Okay.
Good.
I had no
I
idea.
need to do another
Yeah.
one.
Okay, do you know how many pictures are in this?
10.
Okay,
Yeah.
cool. I'm gonna leave it
There's
just
about
like this.
500, but that's just.
Yeah, because we have a lot of photos.
I'm gonna leave it just like
Worst thing you can do is go live and then delete it later.
That's true. People from the Martian. I really don't like social media.
You don't?
Like I do. Mm-mm.
Me either.
I hate
If
it.
not for
I
work.
just have to do it. Yeah.
My brother's doing mine now. The Cinnamon Brand. Hey, me.
Really?
He set up everything to go out at the same time.
Oh, that's
on
good.
Facebook, IG, and just sets it up automated.
Yeah.
I'm like,
That would
yo.
be nice when I can get to that point. But some things I'll do personalized. Like I'll put certain pictures of me,
Nice
but that's
and
just to keep
She is?
people to
Engagement.
yeah, slowly engagement.
And how come?
Okay.
Well, the good thing is with Meta now on the back end, you can schedule stuff out
Yes.
for that in Instagram.
Exactly. But I'm not that person. I gotta practice.
Yeah, that's
I
my
got
brother.
to
Yo,
do with it.
he's been, he got a little
Yeah.
package thing going now.
Right.
Yeah.
Like I will, but then I'm not gonna lie to you. I do like creating it and doing the
I don't like
promotion of
any
That's
it.
my
Really,
issue.
I like it. I mean, it's social media. I can't do anything about it, but I do like creating it, like being in that zone
Thinking about it.
and
but
seeing the
you can't.
perfection. Yeah, and like I like that, but
Because the thoughts hit you and you're like, oh,
yeah,
yeah, take that out, put this picture over here.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But I like stuff like that, but having to be on a time frame, really, schedule with it is like,
Yeah. I was like,
doing
man,
too much.
I'm still trying to write stuff and then do the production stuff. So.
Exactly.
Put it up.
That's already a lot.
Hey,
Put it on the bottom.
I can't drink it though.
Yeah.
yeah. Look down the way. Brian's gonna come down. He's gonna be at the door waving at you. So look to your right or to your left, depending on where you are. Yep, but it's at the very, very end, back by the wood fences.
We in the cut.
Yep.
We're in the cut.
I was confused. Last time I kept walking back and forth until Eric came out. I was like, oh, okay.
I did that
It is
too.
a well-hidden secret back here.
That's nice. At least
I don't want to put my face when I want. I'm doing it.
You can really explain.
Because I really want people to tune into the YouTube. Like, I don't want y'all to keep coming on Facebook.
Just show them over there. Tell them this gonna cut
Once I
off.
cut the live, they don't come to the YouTube. People lazy.
Put the link for the YouTube in your. Yeah, you did that last time. I mean, people, that's just like when you find your favorite fitness instructor, like you stuck to the thing, Facebook is easy. My age limit is Instagram. That's, I've been trying that TikTok thing. I put a couple things.
Oh, I can't even. I made a profile and I just looked at it. I was like, oh my God. It was so overwhelming. No, I couldn't. My profile may still be there because I couldn't figure out how to delete it. But I can't. Oh my God, it gives me anxiety. I don't see how people do that.
It is.
And then it's just like boom, boom, boom. It's so, oh my gosh, I can't function now.
Yeah, if I go on my phone and I look at the icon, I'm like, oh crap, let me
Yeah.
go ahead and pull a video from over here and
Yeah.
throw it over there.
But I heard that that's good though. It'll get you.
It will.
The reels?
Putting stuff on TikTok, because my daughter, she's
I don't want another app.
That's
I'm like, you five.
But I heard that's show like when you got your content, you try
it'll
to
get you.
We did ads on there, but we didn't put content straight up. We
Yeah.
did ads for the premiere to
right.
generate buzz. That did work, but I was like, I don't want another platform to blow shit up.
Yeah.
But see, I just pull stuff from one
Yeah.
and throw it over
But you
there.
still got it. You still know it's
It's still fun.
No, but I think I'm going to.
What's up, dude?
I might.
Go for it.
But then I think that may be a little
Watch
bit what
yourself.
it is too.
Yeah, I'll watch it.
It may be like
Baby,
I
I'm
don't
good. How are you?
want to be so
Or so
exposed.
Oh, okay.
You know, like I do, but I don't. I think on like mind control.
Ma'am,
You know,
after this movie, you can be
I think that's
exposed.
different. Yeah, but TikTok is like, I don't know. But then I guess that depends on how it goes too. But I have a lot of content I can share that
But
like
you
you starting out.
create the zone and the avenue of what it's going to be.
And that's true because that's how I do it.
How many
now.
people we got?
My Facebook, my
He's
Instagram.
supposed to come and shine.
Oh, you.
I was like, I can throw it in the trash, or I can just put it right there where it was. Not supposed to be.
If he's edited, but he said.
That's how I do it.
And I would be the one. What's this?
Yeah, and put it right there.
Right.
Because it's no longer there where it shouldn't be. It's now there where it should
So it
be.
is what it is.
That's
So we
right.
gotta-
It's making progress towards the trash can.
It's feeling this way.
You might want a Capri Sun.
I saw you.
Yes, please.
Ah, thank you.
Get the juices. Y'all know when y'all drinking them juices, y'all be talking.
Where the peanut butter crackers?
Good.
Peanut butter crackers.
Oh yeah, oh the graham jones from the
The lunch,
preschool.
the snack.
Some grapes.
It's nighttime.
And the naps, nap.
Yeah, the peanut butter crackers was definitely the jam. If you saw a specific juice, you knew which cracker was
Yeah.
coming out for the day.
And you did.
And if it was milk, it was gonna be them granny cookies.
Yup.
Thank you.
Or the flour ones.
Thank you.
Yes.
Oh, yeah.
Tipping those
The
in
butter cookies.
Yes.
Yep, the butter, those are my favorites. And don't get the marble ones.
Oh, be
You
quiet.
can eat a bunch of them for no reason and just be sick.
Vacation Bible school heavy, man. Let me tell you. Vacation Bible school, come on. Absolutely.
Indeed.
It was in there every summer.
You figure out why you sick, your stomach hurt. When you done ate a whole roll
A whole
of
roll.
them things. You know,
Yeah, a
that
whole roll.
sneak and stuff.
Absolutely.
You want your cookie. They fell asleep anyway. We'll go ahead and take that cookie. We don't waste none around here. Alright, I'm starting this one now.
It's always good.
We will see what it do.
This is a good memory right
I was
here.
just thinking, I'm like, man, as a kid, this was like it. Like, it was.
That's a good way to age.
See, my kids had Capri Suns, but it was Kool-Aid Jammers, so I'm really gonna age
Did
myself.
anybody hold it with 2 hands?
You look, you went back and then you like.
My high school juice box, I held those with 2 hands.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
My husband is a Capri Sun man. Like, he'll come home with just handfuls of Capri Sun.
Yo, I'd be so scared to go live on Facebook. I do not know why.
Is it the interface? Is it the interface that just doesn't?
No, I'm
I don't
gonna
like
try.
YouTube.
No, it's her.
Oh.
Say that.
I got mental health issues.
Well, as I say, because we're gonna talk about that today.
And what a great segue.
Listen.
I just
say that
scared.
first.
All right,
I was
so
like,
go ahead and hit
to-
my-
we
gonna
my
redo it when the show
Facebook
starts.
Live.
The easiest segue
Yeah,
into
so
tonight's
live
Toxic
now.
Tuesday is to talk about mental illness and intimacy because listen,
Oh, that's deep.
it was
we
mental
are-
illness all weaved and woven all throughout. That was like,
It's
oh,
a lot.
okay. I see what you did there. Okay.
There we go.
Yeah, Ethan
Alright,
said he
so-
can't come, so we're good. We're just waiting on Shy and she'll dip in here.
Okay.
Okay.
So we're not on. Oh, it made me type it again. Sorry, y'all. So hey, for those of you who are tuning in, thank you. We are live. I got my girl. I got the homie. We kicking it with Kay. We will be on YouTube in about 3 minutes. So if you are tuning in, we are doing mental health and intimacy this evening. We're making sure your mental health is right, because you gotta have your good mental health in place and position before you can love someone and be a partner to someone else. So we will be going live on YouTube in just a moment. The link is pinned in the comments. This is not the testimony. As soon as I type this title in here.
And then we're gonna take that mental illness into that Toxic Tuesday because mental illness and Toxic Tuesday are hand in hand.
Yeah, because when we don't have our mental health right, we can become a little bit toxic sometimes.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, we're doing mental.
Man, I don't think I don't know how to do it. I'll just share it later. Just share it.
I thought that this was saved or something.
Mm-mm. Technology don't do
Yeah,
that.
that would be too much like right.
You do the journey.
Toxic.
That's good.
Mental health.
What you drop to?
I like that.
Okay, so we are on, right, on everywhere. Bam, we are live on YouTube. So the crazy Judas gonna meet you. Did you all wanna slide in
Oh, yeah.
until the rest of the crew gets?
Join your
Oh,
neighbors.
hey, come on, it's nice to meet you, beautiful, you a ray of sunshine.
I know, I love
Oh, I love your hugs, girl, yes, bring it in, I need it, thank you. I love people go, oh, she gets up, there's a hug, where you going? Oh, that's why she's so strong. She got the strong. Girl, yes. I'm gonna hug you again before you leave. Yes.
That, but
She
it is
smells
good.
good.
Yes.
She smells good. Yes, I love her too from the right people.
Yes.
Because you can exchange the energy with just any old body. But so thank you so much for being here. We are here. I'm your girl, Miss Angel Shantae. Welcome to the Royal Empire Network. Shout out to all the loyal royals out there. Thank you all so much for tuning in. We're on Facebook here, we're on YouTube, here and soon to be on Patreon. So it is Talk to Me Tuesday. And today we are talking about mental health, or the lack thereof, and intimacy, or the lack thereof, depending on how your mental health is. And I got my girl, Kaya Ford, love and intimacy coach, Miss Kaya Ford. And then we also have the cast of the movie Toxic, that just premiered this weekend. Yes, so we got the cast and the director, writer, producer, extraordinaire, actors and actresses extraordinaire with us today. So they are, as always, going to chime in about the movie. The movie premiere was this past weekend. How was it? Awesome. It was about. Yes.
Look, I know y'all can breathe now. It's like,
A little bit.
until the next one.
To the next one, right? Because the next one is coming swiftly. So we'll have some story time. We're gonna get some reactions from the cast. We're actually gonna share some photos from the event for those of us who were not able to attend.
See the Diamond Princess.
Chocolate diamond.
And our our esteemed flight attendant and our pilots.
Oh, don't do me like that. Don't do me
Dressed
like
to the
that.
I said esteemed.
I don't care.
He said, "Don't do that."
Okay,
Oh,
from the movie.
He was the emperor.
Okay.
He's a
I know the name, emperor.
There you go.
Royal. He was given emperor.
Royal.
He was dressed
Down
to
to
the
the
dogs.
shoe.
girl.
Yes.
Don't be lying like
Head
that.
from the crease to the top of the head.
Because
To
listen,
the toe.
everything is gonna be in place, and you're not gonna catch him in nothing less.
Nope.
Very
I had to check my outfit before I left, and I was like, I told Brian, I'm gonna be out. It won't down, but it was workable.
Listen, if it's not Brian approved, I'm not going. If he says no, I'm going back to my closet. Yes, I'm going back to my closet.
I'm just gonna watch from the back.
Let me get this live stream up and sit on my bed and look at it.
This is
Oh,
not
Larry.
That's the fashion guru right there. So yes, we got the crew and we got one more that may be trickling in a little bit later, but we're gonna go ahead and get started with mental illness. Mental illness is real. And it's a lot of work. It's a continuing, ongoing process. And a lot of times we talk about healing as though it is a finite thing. Like you heal one time and that's it. And baby, that is not how life works. That is not how life works. And even if you heal from one wound, life is a repetitive series of different wounds at different times at different levels. And so what does that look like when you are exploring intimacy, be it with yourself or with a partner, with a friend, with a family member, because there are all different levels of intimacy, and none of them can be healthy unless the mental health is good first. And so what does that look like? It's different for everybody. I saw you shake on that.
Because it has no one look, it has no one sound. And the faster that we all as a whole can recognize that, we can stop just saying, oh, she crazy, oh, he just crazy. You know, I'm just gonna block them because of whatever. I think that mental illness, the trigger word, or what they call it, buzzword, is watering down the true issues that are happening. And honestly, this came about because after watching the movie, because I went to the premiere this time, and it was awesome. I could see so many bouts of there's some mental illness going on there, because we don't just do that. We don't say, hey, I'd rather be in a vehicle having sex, because if the kid call, I can just run back in, you know, give my money, and then I'm going back in. You know, as a mother, your mind is not 100% in that moment. And it does happen, you know, we don't know the age of the children, but you're doing what you got to do to get what you need for the moment. And mental illness is not always a long-term thing. It is not something that everyone is born with. It could be a moment in time that's triggered by something that you go through. Usually trauma-based, which is a whole nother discussion, because for some reason, there's so many people that think that trauma is this big explosive thing that happened to you. When in the reality, at 5 years old, if a spider jumps on your shoulder and it scares the life out of you and your body doesn't know what to do or how to react, that's trauma. And so as an adult, when you're walking down the street and you see a spider and you go up and people think, oh, she crazy. No, that's a triggering moment. Her mental health is off because of what happened to her at 5. And at 5, what do your parents do? Oh, girl, come on.
Shake it off.
Shake it off. Ain't nothing wrong with you.
Girl, it's just a
It's
spider.
a
It's
little
so
spider.
funny that you use it. Because, girl, I almost wrecked my mother's car.
It's real, and people want you to get
A
over
spider got
it.
on me. Mm-hmm. And she was so
And
upset
you never
with me.
deal with it. So you never deal with it. You internalize it, and you're always making sure you're looking out for spiders. And you big grown, you're in your house, and you see, or in a car, and you see a spider going across your window. And it's like, this lady just jumped out her whole car and crashed her car over a spider. Well, she never worked through that trauma that happened on her shoulder. Something that small. And that also shows up where, if we think of OCD, you know, I will say that for a while, I've gotten so much better. There was a time in my life where I could not watch TV unless the volume was on an even number. I barely watched odd number channels. And it was so off. And I never put it together until I started getting myself together that I needed to be in control of something. And that was the easiest way to control something, is the volume of the TV. And so when we think about little things like that, is so real. So if you're sitting beside your partner and who else gonna have the volume on this? So you always have to, turn this light on at a certain time, or you have to do this thing like this. No, they're not trying to annoy you. They're not crazy. Ask them, did something happen in your past? Usually, yes. Could be something major, could be something minor. But OCD is not all Let me go ahead and look at all of the cameras. That's
Somebody
always.
Somebody gonna say.
But a lot of time it's surrounded and based in control. This is the thing that I can control. I want to make sure that the water is actually off when I turn the faucet off. So that person has to go back and check every so often. They want to make sure that it's done. They could have grown up in a household where they got the crap beat out of them for not turning off the faucet once or twice.
Yeah.
And so now that's how it shows up as an adult. So mental illness, all of this is under that umbrella, and it's super real. So when you see those things, because we growing up, I got a birthday coming up, so I might be in my 40-ish. So I heard. And growing up, we, and I'm saying we, because I'm gonna put y'all all in my category, because I made up stuff when I was growing up. We only saw mental illness as the people that were homeless on the street.
Yeah.
And in reality, yes, that is the case sometimes. But the person that you just went to the bank to get that loan from, that is dressed up to the nines, that's living in that $1 billion home, that every day they walk into their house, it is completely dark, and they sit in one of their 9 bedrooms and will not move because they're afraid of the world. We don't think about those folks. We're thinking because they're smiling and they're happy and they're making all of this money. Suicides, when they just come out of nowhere.
Oh, child.
Suicides usually do not come out of nowhere. There is a buildup. There are signs of reaching out for help. And it looks like, oh, you're just looking for attention.
So signs, and I'm so glad that you said that, because a lot of times I find that people's impatience or lack of tolerance comes from or uneducation, and or they don't know what the signs are, or they overlook them because people are overreacting, or maybe they're not well in their own mental health, and so they don't know how other people are presenting. But yeah, I do find, and it's funny that you talk about triggers, since I was talking to Special K earlier, and we were talking about why I don't talk to people. Why I don't talk to people. And I was sitting in my room talking to her, and I could feel the emotion and the tears coming. We were just talking about life shit. But she was like, you hold, she get on me for holding a lot of stuff in, but people aren't always aware of my triggers.
Right.
And because I am an emotional person, and because of the traumas that I've been through, it took me a lot of work to be able to regulate and manage my emotions. And I don't like being emotional. That's a part of myself that I don't like. Who has time to sit around crying and be emotional all the time? Like, we got shit to do. I don't have time. I got businesses to run, kids to tend to. I don't have time. I give myself 5 minutes. We're going to get to that later. But I'm like, go see your DNA. Like, that shit stays with you. Like, real shit. Trauma stays with you. It changes your DNA. And that's what people don't realize. This is why I be in the house now, because I'm protecting my energy. No, real shit. I'm protecting my energy. But one of my triggers is yelling. Because I grew up in a house with a mother who yelled a lot. And so I don't, like, I'm really non-confrontational anyway. I don't do a whole lot talking. And so in that instance, I don't argue either. I don't like to argue. Don't yell at me. If I'm speaking to you respectfully, don't yell at me. If you feel yourself losing control of your emotions, pull it back and let me know, hey, I'm about to I'm all day. You can say, hey, you know what, Angel? I don't like the shit that you just said. I'm gonna walk away for a minute. Cool, I'm cool with that.
Right.
Don't, if I'm not disrespecting you, don't disrespect me. But a lot of times, disrespect is a trigger. Somebody was triggered. And it's not necessarily that they mean to be disrespectful, but maybe they were just triggered by something you said. However, that's where that emotional regulation comes in. And it takes a lot of internal work. And it's a daily process because people do fuck shit all the time. On a daily basis.
Some of them don't know it.
And
Yeah.
that part.
Some people are completely unaware.
Unaware.
And a lot of people are aware.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right about that.
Right.
Let's talk about
Let
it.
them go.
Let's talk about it. Get into it. Because some people just.
Yeah, I just think the whole thing about apologies, for instance.
Mhm.
You know, people be like, oh, or forgiveness. People were like, oh, well, you need to forgive them. For you, it's not for them, it's for you. I'm like, it's not for me. Because if I forgive you and you continue the same behavior, what was it for? if there's forgiveness without a behavior change, then it was nothing. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And now I done put myself in a situation where I've forgiven you, and you're still an asshole.
You put yourself in the space to be manipulated.
Yeah, I'm just like,
Absolutely, thank you.
Put yourself in the space to be
yeah, I
manipulated.
just think it's ridiculous. And
Plus, you can forgive and not deal with them anymore.
Yeah, so that's what it is for me. Forgiveness doesn't always mean that I'm going to continue to deal with you. I can forgive you because I don't want to hold that internal. The grudge is still a negative energy that you're holding on the
Yeah.
inside, and I completely respect your viewpoint. This is not me being confrontational, but for me it is like I literally do. I forgive people for myself because I know that if I don't, it's gonna stay working on my it's gonna stay working on my mental health. And so I'm gonna forgive you so that I don't have to carry that around. Doesn't mean I have to continue to deal with you, and I probably won't.
I'm sorry.
Yes.
But can I say this? Because I've been in a place where I thought I'd forgiven somebody, and just because I've been separated from them and I just cut them off, I did not forgive them. I did not.
Is it true? We can move on a lot of times and think that we have forgiven them and we
And
haven't.
it's not, and what they, in the trauma from that situation, not even making them a bad person, but just what, in my perspective of it, the trauma from that situation still carried over.
Yeah.
And
Yeah.
it completely didn't have anything to do with them after a while, and then it was just something that was just
You have
weighing
to
on
create
me.
a
So
new narrative when you
Yeah.
forget what that thing was because you separated. So now you're doing this to other people
right.
because a lot of times the victim becomes the
perpetrator, yeah.
you know, I don't use
But that's
the
why I
word.
agree with you too, because is it
Yes.
really authentic? The forgiveness, you
Yeah.
know what I'm saying?
yeah, I just kind of, I mean, people can do what they want in terms of forgiveness, and if that's what they need for themselves, then I support it. I'm gonna
Right.
go for it. For me, I'm not there because I know human behavior, and I know the manipulation that people can do to other people all the time. And you have pockets of people where they think you're the greatest thing since Swiss cheese, but
the other
other
side.
people who know you in a different way are like, no, that person's an asshole.
That is so hard for me. Listen, be in that venue because you see people
I
walk through
experience
all
it
the
too.
time, and you be like, oh y'all like. Oh, let me shut up because your experience with that person clearly
Girl,
was totally different from mine, and I understand that everybody's experience. We're gonna get a different representative of different people, right?
Yeah.
Like my experience with Kanye is gonna be different than Storm's experience with Kanye,
Right.
and that's just in general. And everything is. Let me say this also because everything is not always forgivable. You can do shit that is not forgivable, and that. Say what you want, argue with me. If you disagree, put it in the comments.
Put it in the comments.
We can talk about it. It's not, we can be nice to each other. We can agree
Right.
to disagree and be nice to each other. But everything is not forgivable. There are some things that if you do them to me, I'm gonna walk the other way, absolutely, and I'm gonna distance myself and leave you alone. But that doesn't mean that I don't think forgiveness is a have-to situation.
Yeah, because
Yeah.
people are
If you
making
can do it.
people are making choices all the time.
Absolutely.
In every situation.
You have to decide
So it's
to
like
do that.
You had to.
yeah, it's like
You made a whole grown-ass decision.
Right.
So
yeah. So if you're making these choices as you move along, and it turned out to be bad choices, then what am I forgiving really if you haven't changed?
So the part that you're talking about when it comes to, you know, not forgiving,
Yeah.
I completely feel that on that because what you have to do for you has nothing to do with what that person did. So is that forgiveness? Let me talk to me because in the reality is me holding on to this creates a mental illness in me that's going to fester, grow into something else. So let me look at myself. What role did I play in whatever happened?
Yep.
How do I correct that
The
and forgive
accountability.
me?
The
That's what I
accountability.
was gonna say,
Right.
because oftentimes we like to point and say what other people have done, but we don't realize one, what space they're in, but also what space we're in. We
Right.
can, like you said, one person may have one experience, one person may have another experience, but where were you at in that time in your life when you had that experience? Where were you coming from? Were you coming from a place of love or were you coming from a place of fear?
Yep.
You know what I'm saying? And then thinking about it like that, you know, I'm all for like the forgiveness. I'm all for like understanding that some things can't be forgiven, but at the same time, we have to start honestly giving people just a little bit more grace because we are very quick to be like, I ain't dealing with this, but then we don't realize where we're also reflecting these exact same things, you know what I'm saying? And
You're
they show
attracting
up
it.
Well, I
as
think
triggers, they show up as these different patterns and these different
Yeah.
cycles that we go through.
Over and over.
And I think I'm sorry.
Oh, go ahead.
No, I'm sorry. I think we're definitely participants until we don't want to be anymore.
Hello.
That's when we know.
Okay.
That's it, yeah.
Yep.
That's when we ready.
When you sick of it, then you're like, ah.
That's when we ready.
Like, you be doing that there. Let's go.
Yeah.
But when you're able to take it back to self, and I'm not saying, hear me clearly, to everybody that's gonna catch it now and later. We're not saying, and I'm not saying, blame you.
It's not like the quick
Yeah.
blame.
We're talking about the only thing in this world that you can control is yourself.
Yeah.
So in every situation, you have to be able to say, what role did I play? That doesn't mean that you're gonna find something that you did. But you still have to ask, what role did I play in this situation? Okay, I did not play a role, so how do I avoid?
Well, sometimes
you're
the role-
allowing it.
Yeah, sometimes the role is you just staying in it.
Yep.
But that's you, that's a role that you played in.
Yeah.
Because I have a couple I work with, and that was a question I asked. And so they literally had to reflect on themselves, because I didn't ask what the other person, what role did you play in this thing coming to this place?
So that's my position with my children's biological father. It was 11 years of a lot of toxicity. And
Great segue.
listen, that would have been a 3-part movie, child. Listen, 11 years, I got content for your ass, but I'll get you a script. But people see us now, like the people that know the things that I allowed him to do and the things that I stayed through. I will talk in reference to the children. And that's really the only time that I speak to him, is if it's in reference to the children. But if I go to drop my son off, or he comes to pick the child up, we'll interact, and it's not a hostile situation. I can kiki with him, hey, hi, he funny, we can clown with him, you know, hey, we can chuckle. But people always ask me, you know, everything he did to you, how can you? For years, I would get this, and I said, you know what? I don't hold any, and there was some shit that he did that was not forgivable, but I don't hold any grudges against him. He was being him. He was being the person that he knew how to be.
You knew who he was.
And I saw who he was.
Yeah.
And I was there for the time that I was there. And when I left, I was no longer there.
Yeah.
A person can only do to you what you allow them to do.
Exactly.
And so there
In
is a
most
certain level of,
situations.
and yeah, obviously, yes, in most situations. So absolutely there is some accountability that we need to hold for ourselves, because we can't allow people to do things to us and then look back on it later and be like, well, you did this to me. Nope. But where were you when I was doing that? And why you didn't stop me if you didn't like it? And so, yeah, that's always been my thing. Like, he did what he knew how to do. He peopled how he knew how to people. Because people gonna people.
If you can trust everybody to be exactly who they are, you will find yourself in less situations that cause you harm to your mental health. And that's just it. Which is why, you know, I got some patches of gray hair. That's granted, you know, from all of my children, but I don't get upset with a lot of things. There is like, if you don't feed me at a certain time, yeah, I'm gonna get upset, because I love my food. If I can't watch my shows when I had it set in my mind, again, that's something, that OCD is still there. Like, I know that I need to do this thing, I might get a little bit upset. But if someone does something, I'm good with it, because now I see you. And either I'm gonna see you in your pattern, or I'm gonna see you in a moment. And I have to recognize that, because now I need to know where to place me. That's why everything is always referred back to checkers versus chess. When you're playing that game of chess, chess, you're protecting that king and queen. Mostly the queen, let's be real. But we'll say that the queen is everybody, man and woman, right? You are the only one, even though you have all these independent variables out there that's supposed to protect you. My husband is my protector. My children, they will protect. My mother will protect. At the end of it all, I am responsible for protecting me. Not necessarily physically, but I don't allow things to absorb in me, because I can see everyone for who they are. I was born with intuition. All of us are born with intuition. We either trust it or we don't. And that's where the forgiveness for ourselves come into play, because when you forgive yourself, you learn to trust yourself.
Yep.
And without trust of yourself, you cannot trust anyone else, and that weighs on your mental heavy, because now you become suspicious of everyone.
And everything.
And everything.
Even things you do. That's how
Right.
people self-sabotage all the time, because you don't trust yourself. You don't listen to yourself. You don't listen to all the times when you're asking, praying, asking for signs, this and that, the third, get two, you get this, then the third, get smacked upside the head.
Stop
God
that.
bring somebody to you and be like, hey, and we still
all of
ignorant.
it.
You know, that's exactly how we get to that point.
Why didn't I listen to myself?
Yeah.
And that usually stems from something that has happened in your past. And honestly, the latchkey kid era and even before. So latchkey kid and back. It is in us, instilled in us, 1,000%. Just roll with it.
You had to.
You had no choice
Yeah.
but to shut up, be seen, not heard. If I say go sit on Pop-Pop's lap, go give him a hug, go let auntie whatever, you're gonna stay at the neighbor's house. You still gotta go to cousin so-and-so house, I don't care how bad he beat you up last time. That's what we grew up in, that place. And so unfortunately now, the pendulum has swung so far over to the other side, we forgot the middle part of, hey, I can control me. I can listen to my child because they're telling me this thing. And even if it is absolutely not true, I'm gonna still sit down and I wanna talk about it, because somewhere there's a truth in that child believes. Because we weren't listened to coming up. If it was unimaginable to the adult, then it wasn't real. They didn't go and find a piece that actually made sense. That, oh, okay, now I see why you say that there's a big bad wolf at the end of the block, because that man has been touching you for the last 15 years, and to you, he's a big bad wolf because you were still made you go there every single time. So we have to be able to look at each other and say, wow, this story makes no sense whatsoever. What part of it actually makes sense? And that's what sits on our mental.
Or even if it doesn't make sense, what part of it is true?
Right.
What was true, or what was the root, like, because it didn't come out of nowhere.
Yeah.
It just, I'm kind of thinking now, because I kind of started with the mental health and intimacy, and it just kind of makes me think about, if you think about it, I mean, I'm just thinking about all of the things you said, and you said, one thing that was said was that people often say that we are overreactive when we're expressing ourselves, and when I heard that, I was thinking, like, some people maybe don't have the mental capacity or the emotional or spiritual capacity to be able to even understand what most of us are going through, or even if they've been through it, most people haven't, like you said, done the inner work to even realize that that's something that they haven't dealt with. So most of the times we're talking to people that don't, you know what I'm saying, haven't really dealt with things in themselves.
Part of that is the inability to verbalize.
Right, and then
You know, as children, as adults.
and that's what I was gonna say, so it makes me think about just even as we move forward into relationships and we start becoming intimate with people and thinking about all of these things that a lot of people haven't dealt with, you know, and it's like, we're holding space right now, but like, think about all of the people that in relationships haven't held the space to be like, I was molested, like, you know what I'm saying? Or as a male, like, man be like, yo, I was molested as a child, but I can't even express that, because I don't even, like, growing up, being a man, expressing emotions, what is that? You know what I'm saying? Or, you know, so it's just like, just, I guess, kind of thinking about it, it just makes me think about how important it is also to be able to hold space for the people that we're getting to know, because most of the times, as we see, it's a rabbit hole, there's layers of things that lead to this inner child trauma, you know?
And I think that's part of the grace that you mentioned as well, you know, like giving people a little more grace. But I think that grace is extended to a certain point, because people there are people that if they know they're given grace, they're being given grace, they take and run with it. You know what I mean? And it's like, okay, I've given you some grace today, but how much more I gotta
Give you
give
this
you?
hand in the
You
mirror.
know,
Okay.
they just keep using
Yeah.
that same
Yeah.
trauma, like, well,
But
you
then
know
you
what
gave me
happened to
grace
me,
last
yeah,
week.
you know I go through this,
Yeah,
That's
you
when
know this
accountability
happened.
comes in within yourself, you know, you gotta be accountable, like, all right, they're giving me grace now, how much grace more, you know, cause you can only expect, I mean, realistically,
Yeah.
nobody expects it to go away, but realistically, how much you really expect from anybody?
Because after the
You know?
1700th time, it's
Yeah.
like, you've given me
You're like,
grace
what's
all this
going on?
time, like, what's the
But
problem?
also, what
That's
is
your
that,
choice.
what does grace look like?
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's gonna be important too.
Subjective.
It is
Allowance.
very subjective.
But it's also
But
allowance
what,
for
what
one
does that
person.
look like though? Because
It looks like I'm gonna go and cheat for the 10th time,
Well,
and you're gonna be a
So I
little,
think-
you're gonna be a little mad about it.
grace
but
could
that's
also
the
be,
root of that.
I was
That's
gonna say
the
grace
thing.
could also be like, all right, I'm gonna think about toxic real quick. I'm trying to think of a scenario. So grace could be like, let's say, well, I don't want to give the story away for the people who haven't seen it. So I guess
I ain't giving nobody that movie grace.
I was gonna say grace would be like a circumstance of like when Ron was going through his little emotions and he had to dip out and you know what I'm saying, get his mind together and stuff like that. Grace maybe knowing that he's going through something and maybe she's not okay with the fact that A, B, C, or D, but you know, Grace is gonna be okay.
Well,
I'll
one of
see
those
you
other
soon.
people was never gonna be able to give him grace.
Right.
They were never gonna be able
So
to.
here's the thing, but you have to be
different.
You know, it looks different. It definitely looks different. But I think accountability also has to come along with grace. Like you can't, like you said, just give a person grace to continue to do things to you that are going to impact or affect you negatively. So I still feel like accountability needs to be
Has to be
in
part of
there.
grace.
Yeah, it definitely has to be a part of grace. And then trust, because we're talking about these relationships. However, if there's no foundation of trust, and don't give me nothing that's built on a lie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Don't give me nothing that's built on a lie. If you don't fuck with me, tell me you don't fuck with me.
Yep.
I'm a big girl, I can take it.
Right.
Don't tell me I'm a great person,
Yep.
but that's not really how you feel. Because guess what? I'm not for
Talk
everybody.
about it.
And I'm okay with that.
Yeah.
I don't need to be for everybody, but what I do need is transparency. And if I transparently tell you that I'm cool with you and we are on a certain level, don't give me the same in return just because you think I can't handle the truth.
But that's
Give me the truth and allow me to make that decision as to whether I can or I can't. So I think that still trust needs to be within these relationships. Absolutely needs to be a foundation, and then accountability still needs to
Trust
be.
with yourself
Absolutely.
has to be the foundation, not with
Absolutely.
the other person.
Absolutely.
Trust with yourself has to be the starting
And
foundation.
knowing your boundaries.
Yourself is the starting point of anything.
Yeah,
Period.
boundaries.
Everything starts from within.
Your heart knows.
That's a lot. That's good too. Like people talk about boundaries all the time, but when they're in specific situations,
They
those
lapse.
boundaries, like,
They're gone.
where are they?
Are the boundaries in the room with us?
Yeah.
Because at this point,
But, and again, the boundaries start with
yourself.
You
Yourself
can't look
too.
at anybody for
Right.
anything until you go within. We always complain about what other people do. Are we
Instead of
truly
self.
giving ourselves all of these things? Like
Yeah.
we always do that. Like we always do that. And sometimes we are doing that. Sometimes we are genuinely showing up. Sometimes we are doing the work. But are we always doing that when we're always putting a thing? They say Hebrew is not saying cast the first stone. Most people can't not cast one stone because at some point, even if it's not that day or that week or that month, they've done it in some way. And maybe not to that person, but they've done it to
Somebody else.
And we
yeah.
know just as much as you get blessed, you can bless somebody and they might not bless you back. Somebody else might come along and bless you. You know what I'm saying? It's the same way
It'll
with
come around.
negativity. You know what I'm
Energy,
saying?
energy.
It's what you
gonna
attract.
be-
Has
Yeah,
to
if you're
be
being something to somebody else, they might not be that the way to you in that moment. But you never know what energy is gonna be reflected back to you from someone or anywhere else. You know what I'm saying? So I just always think, like you said, it's all about self because what we experience on the outside is a reflection of really what's going on within.
You
You know?
What you exude is what you attract.
Yes.
Yeah.
But
And
I
that's
also
just the
think-
bottom line.
I also think taking breaks is pertinent in terms of getting your mental health together. Taking breaks from people, from things, from places.
Hello.
Partner.
Yeah,
Like not in a weird way, but it's like
No, that's a
you
real-
could go in a different room and read a book. You don't have to be laying up under them all
Right,
the
or
time. Like, you
not
gotta
put yourself in a position
balance.
where you're actively looking for a person when you know you've got
But
work
some
to
people
do.
Work to do.
don't. Some people jump from relationship to relationship.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And they don't
It's
have
fear.
time to
And
heal.
Yeah.
They don't know themselves.
Yeah, they
or
identify
don't
with
know
that.
what they can do without the other person. They're very codependent and it's very toxic.
Toxic.
Hello.
Big
Right,
segue.
literally, like that's so toxic. Like we literally, like I said, you gotta do a deep dive into yourself, and not only that, know who you're dealing with.
Yeah.
Like, all of that goes into play. Like, when you set all that for yourself, and then you're going out to look for whoever you're looking for, and your energy is attracting that, you want to have those problems.
So
You want to run into them, but you know how to identify them,
deflect,
and how to be
exactly.
aware, and you know how to maneuver that. So,
a story and
If you
about-
want to.
if you want to.
yeah, unless you want to be done.
So a story on grace and accountability and how energy literally works. Because it was, I forgot the year, but anyway, I was listening to Mary J. Blige's cassette tape on side
wow.
A.
Oh, wow.
It was on side A.
90.
She was my first therapist. Listen, she was my first therapist. And it was the day I finished listening to that. My two girls were in their room. I had two girls under the age of 2. I was 19, going on 20 years old. In my little Section 8 apartment. Cried. Those tears dried into that carpet. And I said, from that day forward, no more tears for anybody else. I gotta do what's best for my girls, right? Granted, and most people know, I'm a former serial cheater. Yes, if the sun came up, I was cheating. That's not necessarily sex with everybody, but I didn't love on me, so I was searching. And so when I made that decision, gotta do what's right for my girls. We're gonna get them a backyard, we're gonna buy this house, we're gonna do this thing. And I was on a path to just be the best me. But my husband was just dropped in the pathway. Okay, I was like, that's my person. You know, one night stand, we just had our 18-year anniversary Monday, 20 years together. Straight up. You know what you want, you know what you want. When we first got together, I could feel it in me because I started to tap into me. You got somebody else that you're dealing with. And the way that we got together, he had a girl, and I was like, all right, you go handle that, and I'm gonna still be over here. When we first got together, I knew that something was off. Come to find out, he was talking to another chick, and this is before we got married. So I still made that decision to walk into that marriage, because what I knew was the hurt and pain that I put on so many other people, and I know I broke people down. I know that when I was younger. I needed to know how that felt, so that I would never A, want to have any get back whatsoever, and B, I would never do it again. And C, I just needed to know this is what it feels like when someone is truly into you, giving you your all, and you just be like, okay, deuces, yeah, somebody else in your car, and then what? And you know, but we had our moment, and this is what grace with accountability looks like. And I was very clear. Didn't get hyped, set the whole mood up. It was so awesome how it went down. And I'm just like smooth with it. Another story. And it was, I just laid on the bed and, hey, look, that's your one and done. And I'm gonna trust you for that to be your one and done. And I can tell you that for the first 10 years of him not wanting to talk about it, it broke him all the way down. Because I didn't want to get back. I didn't want to have any revenge. I loved me a little bit too much to disrespect my body, because I knew what it felt like to do that. So that's all on you. But it tore him up. It really broke him down. That's when I said, okay, you're remorseful. So I know you won't do this thing again. You've watched that growing up. So I know you don't want to see the mother of your children go through this thing. I never worried about whatsoever him stepping out. If a naked woman walked into our house, well, I ain't gonna say our house, because I'd probably kill her. But if we were out and about and a naked woman walked in the room, I would probably say to him, you can go introduce yourself, say hello, I'm cool. Because I know now who you are, but I know who I am more. So the grace that was given was, that was your one and done. We're gonna talk about this every single time that I want to talk about it until I fully understand, because I'm one of those people, make it make sense. I need for it to understand. And he was willing to give that to me. The part of giving grace, of just saying, oh, I forgive you, it's okay, and then leaving it at that, that's gonna cause the repetition. Okay, she ain't do nothing. Okay.
Oh, she cool on this?
We had in 2 years, I met somebody else. We gonna do this again. She gonna forgive me again. Because nothing was held to
There was no accountability.
There was no accountability.
Right.
And the accountability is,
Zero.
you gonna tell me about this thing. You gonna talk to me about this. If you can go out there and physically lay, that's right. Talk to me about it. Oh, so you out here doing this? Well, how was it?
So I was like, how
What was
it? Like,
What was it
let's
that
go.
called? What was so amazing? Like, talk to me about that. You don't ever want to go through that again? Oh, well, don't do it again. And I'm cool with it. If he called me today and said, you know what, yesterday I met somebody and we've been talking on the phone for the last 5 years, I would say, okay, you want the house or you want me to take the house?
I was just about
There
to
is
ask
no
you,
discussion.
Can grace look
Yeah.
like I forgive you, but it's not okay?
Oh, absolutely. Because I'm not, why am I gonna get upset? Because I saw what happened 20 years ago. So that's already there. I don't expect you to do it again. But should it show back up? Number one, you trust me enough to tell me. That's good. But number two, I've already said that was one and done. So you know that consequence is real. Because that's a real boundary and a real consequence is to actually
Exactly.
walk away. The hardest thing in the world to do is to walk away. It is so easy to stay. Because then you can also say, whenever you feel vulnerable and weak, you can justify what you're about to do because this happened. I remember when that happened. So now both of y'all are in this nasty cycle of hurting yourselves. And guess who's suffering in all of that? These children. That's that mental illness, that mental health. You're weighing on your children because they have to see this. They know that you were out doing this to my mom or my
And
dad,
then they may become reflective.
and they become reflective. And that's where the cycle continues. Exactly, because we talk about it in the household. We don't talk about it in depth, but the children know. They know what it sounds like. They know what it feels like. We would never, they don't need details, but they know. This is what, don't bring more than one girl around our house, because we already gonna tell it straight up. So you're not with so-and-so no more, and she will be standing right there. And that's just this being transparent. Call a thing a thing. Oh, if you're not with them no more, cool, we good, But that's what we know because we also build relationships with those people.
Right.
So you're not gonna have me stressed out.
And
if
their
my kids-
families and their,
Right.
yeah,
That's the word.
or their
I don't
kids.
be close with no more.
Like, listen,
Got to pay my rent. I said, no more.
if you out here playing the field, that's cool, just don't bring them home. But everyone in our household know you're not gonna stress me out. You can do whatever you want around each other. Don't bring around me because I can't hold with so much in my brain.
It's like, Sheila, you sure have changed.
Right! And they be like, Mama, that's what that girl saw. She had short hair yesterday. There she got on. Girl, your hair look good. It was different yesterday.
Well, I did this too.
I won't hear yesterday.
And that's so. Speaking of mamas, we're gonna cruise smooth into this toxic premiere that we saw. And why I wanted to end that on moms and go into moms is because in this movie, mama created, because shit falls downhill.
Real
So
fast.
let's be real. Mama had some things going on with herself, mental illness, that she absolutely just touched her son and put it on the son. And so he is stuck in this vicious cycle of pleasing mama, no matter what, right, wrong, or indifferent. That is so toxic. That is so dangerous.
Yeah.
Because that's the highest woman in his life. A mother is the highest woman in your life. Yeah, grandmas, I get it, but the highest woman in your life is your mother. So what this mother, and all I can see is this beautiful emerald green. That's all I can see. Listen, thanks to this one right here. I have a full visual of this woman in this emerald green sitting, and every time that I see her, I just think her touching him on the shoulder like, you're now poisoned.
Yeah.
And so now he goes out and he poisons
Yeah.
everything else. And he attracts poison. He attracts multiple poisons. What was it? One. Two.
Back in the day.
Four.
No fat poison.
Listen. It was so back in the day. Oh my God.
Way back.
So he was doing that way back. So
How do you know, Ron?
So that means Mama was doing this for a long time because Son was out here poisoning
Yes.
for a long time. And then he was poisoning so good that it started coming back to him.
Yeah.
But not just his mama. So now everything that you're touching is poison. Because them kids, when they was out in the car, y'all keep hearing me talk about this car. That means y'all got to get out of there. When this car was shaking and baking and rocking and rolling. Because kids, we know kids don't be asleep.
Yeah.
Somebody was in there wondering like, ooh, they out in there.
Right. Looking through the
Looking through the glass.
Yeah.
Ooh, this time the car going this way. Yesterday it was going that
Look
way.
at her hair when she came out.
And she told me she ain't got no money. She got money for the PSO because I saw her put it right there.
I wonder if you know she bald head under that.
Your own
It's
kids.
so bad. You be like,
Mama, you
know.
got your wig.
Yes. Mama, is that my daddy?
That's the one.
I did that to mom. I did that.
Come on with it now. Come on. But as a child, how stressful was that on you that you just want to know? Mama, is that my daddy?
And I'm all like,
complexion, what you supposed to be? Daddy! No, that's not something. They be the uncle. Is that Uncle so-and-so?
And you got McDonald's money because Uncle so-and-so came over here. Y'all started.
And gave you the money.
And gave, so,
As women, we get a lot of flack for having daddy issues. But we very rarely get into the mommy issues.
listen,
Yeah.
these
Some
mamas
of
doing
these men
their children.
have. The boys.
Some of it.
The sons. Some
What's
of them,
his name?
Ron Jamaica.
Ron. Okay.
Oh.
Ron definitely got mommy issues. But here's the thing. Ron doesn't know, didn't know before he met that beautiful woman towards the end, because you got to see the movie to see the he didn't know that he has mommy issues. He did not know the hole and the negativity that his mama was oozing through his brain. Because in his household, that's normal.
Yeah.
Yep.
These chicks, they knew that he was off. They had their own stuff going on, but they was receiving. They was receiving the goods and the goods.
Yeah.
And they was taking the goods and the goods. They didn't care about what his mama was doing, how she, as long as they was getting that money, that house,
Get that head, get that bread.
and leave. For them to have them crabs and them herpes and stay. But you know, let's talk about, because in the beginning I saw
Why we over here?
So,
Sorry, man. To the end.
you and Ron, y'all had a little toxic session
Yes.
going on,
Yes, ma'am.
and the way that you curved him was very smooth. I mean, smooth. Yo, listen, y'all got to see this. The smoothness of it was just like butter. That he knows that he's being curved, but he can't accept it in the moment. And for the small hope that you might change your mind in 3 weeks, he just went with it. So how did that feel to you?
Come on, butter.
Spoon.
No, I mean, it kind of, in a weird way, it's like it puts you in a position of power that you haven't been in, you know, whether that's sick or not. Because how many times as women have we been politely curved, you know, been politely let go, you know, been like, oh no, you're great, you're a beautiful, great woman, but you know, or I have this going on, or you understand, you know, I can't right now, you know, and it just because it's in different forms and we may get a little bit out of it doesn't mean that it's healthy.
That's right.
You know, so I think with my character, it was more, and I could, you know, you're wrong, don't let me misspeak, but I feel like it was more of the, you know, just like women would do with the comfort of it, you know, like having somebody there. I didn't necessarily felt like I needed him there, you know, I had my own toxic ways going on and my own secrets, but I still felt in that moment like, yeah, I need you for this. I had my things in place because in my mind, I'm portraying myself as having it all together, and I'm
The
you know,
healer.
Here, yes,
The naked
Precisely.
healer. She won't be naked, but a little bit naked.
but I can heal you in different ways, or you know, I'm in control of healing myself. And what I thought she saw with my character is that like that's not the case. I have a lot of things
Oh, you got some shit going on.
that needed to be explored. That I just, you know, in a sense, I put on him too.
Yeah.
You know, I got mine's off with you. You know, we're good.
Now it's not, you gotta go figure your shit out.
Figure that out. I don't have time for it right now. Even, you know, whether that's true or not, I'm making you believe that.
And he fueled that toxicity and negativity by keep coming back.
Yeah.
And that empowered you to say, I gotta be doing something right.
Yeah.
As you hear with what was 5 cameras. Your OnlyFans, I wrote your OnlyFans, or what it was up there, but you, now that I've gotten this power, I can now empower these people that's watching me here.
He gave me my
But what are you feeding into that?
yeah, or taking away from myself. Am I empty after that? And that's
Right.
why I need him to keep coming
Coming
back.
back and fueling you up.
You know?
Listen.
But people don't realize when you lay down with somebody, that is such an exchange of energy. And people be it positive or negative energy. And people take that for granted. I try to choose my words carefully, Lord. I choose my words carefully, but yeah, that sexual exchange of energy, it like people fill themselves up on sex and sexual energy. It just is what it is. And it's not a healthy way to feel yourself. It's fun in some instances, but it's not a healthy way. And people don't really realize what you leave with a person
Yes.
when you've been with a person. And I've been in a relationship where my partner was angry, but after sex they weren't angry. But then now all of that negative, no, like bullshit. I have had to detox from a relationship, or just still being in the relationship. But because this person, when I realized it, I'm like, well, damn. And it was a joke, you know, for a while. Like, oh, you must have gave him some ass because he wasn't so cranky today. Oh yeah, I did. We fucked last night. But then when I thought about it, like when I said that shit out loud, I was like, well, wait a minute. Where is the energy going? Because
But that's why Butter over here was smart. Butter was smart enough not to allow too much of the exchange into her. Now, he spoke these words into you, maybe. But the energy exchange was a little bit different.
Yes.
Because you were smart enough to get the head, get the bread.
Smart, or was it me feeling like I needed the control too?
Help. Talk to me.
Because I mean,
Talk about it.
it could be like, you know, I felt like, oh, I'm protecting myself because I'm not, you know, letting anything go past a certain level.
Mm-hmm.
But it's like still exposing myself to a certain extent. You know, I'm still making myself vulnerable. You're in my space. You're, you know, even emotionally, mentally, I still have to make myself separate all of that from you.
Right.
You know, and so it's just, if I felt like I can control that, I can control these people over here, does that mean I have domain over myself now, and now I'm good, you know? And I have all these things and these little knickknacks around me to make me feel like extra special, extra grand, extra like I have this, you know? And is that the truth, or is it just, I found my control?
You and your control piece.
In all aspects, I was in control in that scene.
You controlled him.
Yes.
But were you out of control with yourself?
I was gonna say, yeah, who's really in
I was
control?
gonna say, can I play
Girl, that's
devil's
not me,
advocate?
girl.
Yes.
Because if you think about it, you said And she definitely was in control, but you said that she was in control of the amount of energy. Are you really in control once you make that agreement to connect with somebody, whether it be touch, that's an agreement, speaking, that's an agreement, sex, oral sex, whatever the case may be, that's all an agreement. It's like, even if she just let him lick the little bean and then said, nah, she just gave, even if it's a little power, that still created the agreement.
And
you
the
know what I'm saying?
vulnerability.
Which is so it's like, sometimes we think, oh, well, it was just head, or I just let him stick his finger in, it was just a tip, and that wasn't no real connection, but sometimes that's a real connection.
That's what I
Or
said.
kiss,
She
yeah.
controlled him, but was she in control of herself? No,
Yeah.
because did she want to actually have that act happen at all?
Right.
No.
Right.
And so while
True.
while she was being fueled by the power and control over this physical being, over her actual self, mental space, and even body, you were no longer in control of that.
Yeah.
Because when you lay back and say, yep, come on, and you the whole time thinking, I can't hurry up because my live is about to start. In 15 minutes, I just need this done. So you didn't do it with purpose.
Yeah.
And even our interaction was like a
She said,
tangle
spirit
within
told her,
us,
spirit
you know, with
said,
both of
"Yeah,
us.
stop."
It was a back and forth, it was a play. I feel like it was a play on control too, between
Yeah,
us.
it's a power struggle.
Yeah,
It's a constant
definitely.
going back and forth.
Yeah. Because
Because
it should have ended.
when you
When
you
spirit
say,
said,
Yes.
the round in the house, like, oh, you gotta go. But his power struggle is, I need to show my mom that I'm in control. So I'm gonna keep pressing you as the woman because I can't press my mom.
Right. Right.
And that's his thing. And in each of those situations, he tried to press the woman to really cave into what he needed because that's something he couldn't do with his mom. Didn't even try to do it with his mom.
Right.
He already knew.
For his mom.
But it was for her. Exactly.
Yeah.
Because she wanted what she wanted from it. Oh yeah, I'm still looking at you. She wanted what she wanted from him by any means necessary. Whether it destroyed him, whether he destroyed other people. Because here's the thing. What was mama name? Which begs my question, and it's a burning question. Burning question. Are we gonna get a toxic part too?
We could, it's an opening.
Okay, good, because
You saw it in, I'll be out.
that's it. Because
We've had this discussion, and
because
you got
mama
content.
has to come back around. Because what she did is probably what she's done to him her whole life.
And then
Was
I
abandon
talking
him.
about it. And then the host comment, well, and I would love y'all because y'all are mothers. Like the comment, and we hear this often. No one is gonna love you like I do, or like
But
your
here's the
mama
thing, I don't
do.
want you to love
What's
me.
that like? What I was
Yeah.
gonna say, like I said, I don't have kids, so I can't speak to that. But what is that? And even as men who have mothers, you know, like where does the mother get the between the like? Because a mother's love and a woman's love is two different
should be
loves.
different.
Yeah.
Should be.
Your
It
mama
should
ain't
be
gonna rub
different.
your back
Yeah.
the way your
Yeah,
wife
should
is
be
gonna rub
different.
your back, or
Yeah.
you know what I'm saying?
But if
Whatever
your
your partner.
mom looks at you as her husband or the
Yeah.
man in her
She's
life,
gonna groom you into thinking of those things.
I'm over
Yeah,
the
and
Or,
that's
you know,
common
that's
in
what
the-
you know.
Yeah, that's common in the black community.
yes.
Because they call them son husbands, that's the new term for it.
Mhm.
But, or simply, you build your own sin.
Yeah.
Mhm.
So you kind of did that. So he wanted unconditional love from his mom. He didn't get that. So he pedestalized her and she manipulated that. You see it across the board. So that's why he wasn't really his own man, and he was looking for unconditional love from the women, pushing for it, not getting it, and getting rejected because he had a template from his mom. So he's going to pedestalize a woman anyway. So that's why he didn't have a whole lot of boundaries in the relationships he had. So he's on that control search. So you got the dudes that come from those type of mothers, either a bad boy or a simp. There's really no in between.
Right.
Right.
When you get that mom that's toxic as shit, you get a bad boy that hates women or the ones that pedestalize. There's no balance. And so I based that character on Lil Wayne's mom.
Come on now.
She said that verbatim to him. I want you to go get your girl pregnant so I can have a baby to raise.
Ugh,
That's where
and
it
that's
came
pressure.
Yep.
That is pressure
But
on
he was
a
a
son.
real daughter. He had that little girl at 13. That's why he did it.
Wow.
So I took that and built on that, but I've seen it across the board with guys. So
Yeah.
when you have those guys, and there's no respect there, she's like, he's a tool, he's an asset.
Yeah.
So he's still trying to get that thing filled, and the women that were in his life keyed on that and said, well, I can get some head off of him, cool, I'm good. And he's not gonna push, he's not gonna assert himself like somebody that made, like, look, you're gonna do what I tell you to do. He's not that kind of dude.
Right.
So the women caught on to that and just started rolling with it. So, but that comes from, I've seen it across the board. I've done it with my own mom, and had to go through that same stuff, and I wouldn't acquiesce, so we always had a problem. Like, why can't you just do what I tell you to do? And I had that growing up.
Yeah.
And I'm like, what? And so I didn't become an asshole, but at the same time, I did pedestalize women a lot when I was younger. So then I figured out in my early 20s, like, this shit don't work. No, stop. Boundaries.
And this dude was still in his 30s, rocking
Exactly.
it out.
But that's why they're guys that I've seen, and every scene in that movie is based on a real dude. I've seen dudes up to in their 60s getting played like, 70s getting played that way. And it doesn't change because that template's there, and if you don't recognize it, you're wide open, and women will key on that. It's like,
Yeah.
no, that's gonna be a sugar daddy.
That's why I can't wait till part 2 when the
don't
woman
wanna
meets the
change.
man.
Exactly.
Yeah, they don't.
Some of them don't wanna change. They're
It's
comfort-
scary.
They're comfortable there.
Yeah.
Right.
Change is scary, it is uncomfortable.
Very
So, and who wants to do that?
But some people don't feel they need change.
Yeah.
Some
That's
people
why I
don't
can't
feel
wait
like
to
they
see
need
what
change.
happens when the mama meet the new girl. I can't wait for them to meet, because they got to meet. They got to meet.
I feel like Arlene though would give her a little run for her money.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, listen, you trying to come in between me and my my son?
There you go.
And you trying to come between me and my new man?
Poor
Right.
Arlene would die. She got a girl, ex-girlfriend, a mama, Lord.
Yeah, you might run away and go back to, what her name? Lord, have my bad names. Jennifer, you might go say, Jennifer, come home back. Him and her and Delonte. We can live in this house together. Listen,
Delonte,
y'all
you
gotta
can
see
wear the
Delonte.
robe.
Listen, Delonte, listen, that dude got caught up too. But he turned into, well, they didn't do a whole lot on him.
Don't tell the whole story.
I'm not
I say stuff for the people. They can be
I ain't
like,
gonna tell it all, but let me tell you. Pay attention to Delonte too, because even though he seemed like a background person, I want you to pay attention to the role that he is at. Look, my little kitchen is out. I want you to pay attention to I'm distracted. Pay attention to the role of Delonte. When you go see this movie, don't just concentrate on Delonte, but pay attention, because even though he's kind of back here, he's playing a major role in this whole thing. And nosy people like me, we see that. So I see what you did there. Sunshine. Woo! Let's talk about your role.
Yes.
So how did the role you play, A, how did you feel about it, and B, is that something you're familiar with?
So how did I feel about it?
I'm
I was excited because I feel like Arlene was cultivated very close to like a lot of the characteristics that are kind of pretty natural within me. She's very loving and way more, I would say, intimate than I am naturally. I'm on the celibate journey, the non-dating journey, so I don't be on that world, you know what I'm saying? I feel like my role required me to tap into just a little bit more vulnerability, not saying more than the others, but in the way that I had to, that Arlene had to personally interact with Ron, you know? So it was cool. I think it was cool. It definitely allowed me to dig deeper within myself, you know, and it helped me realize where I was closed off in a lot of ways, you know what I'm saying? Just like even as Arlene, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think it was really dope. But I can resonate with Arlene a lot, and I feel like we have a lot of things in common, especially the more I get to know myself, you know what I'm saying? And I think that even though Arlene's role is the role that Arlene plays, Arlene still has some aspects that can be toxic as well, you know, and a lack of self-love in a sense can be toxic. And I say that in the sense because we talked about boundaries and certain things that we tolerate and things like that. And ultimately there's some things that I don't think Lenexa would tolerate that Arlene would tolerate, you know what I'm saying? And when I reflect on why I wouldn't tolerate certain things, it goes down to the two things: boundaries, self-love, really learning self. So I think it was a cool character to be able to step into and really just learn myself in the midst of, embodying the character. So
That's beautiful.
So if Earlene were invited to Thanksgiving dinner
yeah.
and Mama cooks the turkey every year, but Ron said, "Boo, I want you to eat the turkey this year." So you walk up with this turkey, and Mama said, "Who the hell is this girl right here bringing this turkey?" You gonna stick in there?
Oh, you know why I'm gonna stay there and be like, "Look, lady, I am vegan. I don't want to cook this damn turkey. You gotta take this damn turkey and she got to deal with it." Cause you know what I'm saying? Like, we know the toxicity of the mama, like we said, the mama-son bond, trauma bond that's going on here, and at some point you have to put your foot down, because if you don't, people will continue to do what you allow them to do. You know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying that Jennifer allowed or didn't allow, but there was some part of the character that clearly Mama felt like she could step over, you know what I'm saying? So something wasn't established, you know what I'm saying? And I'm not saying Earlene would or wouldn't, but as you know in the movie, you know what I'm saying, there's only been so much Earlene gonna also take too.
Yeah.
Just like, Ron's gonna take so much too, you know what I'm saying? So yeah, I think that she would probably be pretty grounded. I don't think she would be as insane or as, as Jennifer-y, but I
like that.
Jennifer-y, but I think that she would.
Right. She ain't saying that at all.
Yeah, but I think that she would probably, probably go for the respect,
Yeah.
Hopefully Mama will just shut up because she's getting what she wants for once, but I don't know. She might not be what she really wants.
I don't know, because it might not be
It might not be
what
what she really
it
wants.
may just be a means
Mama
to...
says she want a baby and a woman, but do she really want the baby? Or do she really want the
The
woman?
woman.
You know what I'm saying? We don't know where Mama really wants.
Baby, you go away.
It's a lot of areas that can just be like...
That's why I cannot wait for the cartoon. I'm just saying, I cannot wait because it is there. So let me ask you this. Would you be able to recognize, because at a certain point it's like, okay, y'all trying to get serious and you're not Jennifer Lee. So, you don't have this agenda over here, so you really, really, really taking this time away from me. Would you be able to recognize when manipulation comes into play, just thinking about the character fully, would you be able to recognize that and put a stop to it?
I would say no. And I would only say no because of what y'all did. Well, okay, I'm thinking of the script. I'm like, going back to the script, I'm like, what y'all didn't see, there was a lot of different aspects where, and I'm just trying to use my words correctly, so just give me a second to process. There we go.
With accountability.
She's already accountable for taking her time, so we
That's right.
So we appreciate it.
Yeah, but no, just how she allowed herself to fall for Ron, I feel that she would have tolerated quite a bit before realizing that something won't 100% right. You know what I'm saying? At this point, she thinking everything kind of cute. Like,
right.
What the fuck you got? Let me show this to my own girl. Like, this is the type of girl you do. Like, you know what I'm saying? Versus like, so it's like right now it's funny, but she don't realize like
This is serious.
yeah, and we, when you in jail and you locked in confinement, shoot, you just be in the daggone room by yourself long enough, you start to, you know what I'm saying? So she's in love, she's in trauma, she's in all of these things while, you know what I'm saying? And it's like, I don't even know what she really getting herself into, but she just know that this a good guy. She see the potential. She see past all of this illusion, blah 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 blah. But she not still seeing the reality. Like you can see the good in people, but if this is what reality is showing you.
But Earlene got something for that ass.
Oh, but she got something for you. Like she not gonna let you just play her and take away from her peace. But at the same time, I do think she's the type of woman that would more likely like. I did stick through a lot. All right, now I got to sit down and think about what I just been through. You know what I'm saying? Because that was a lot.
And you said something very, very much of what most women and men too do is look at that potential.
That's what I was about to say. I
And
think
you don't
we
think
get to
about
the
that
potential versus
intention.
reality.
Yep, because potential will get you in the world trouble. We
Yes,
go to body.
yes.
Hold on,
You gotta meet people.
Right. See the last bit of potential I got. Because I always say every potato has the potential to be a French fry, but sometimes they be mashed potatoes, and that's just it, because the intention won't there. Miss Back in the Day love. So since you were kind of early on, right? Do you think you played a role in how he was in current, in these situations, and in the Jennifer situation? And before you answer, this is what I'll say. This is why I asked you this, is because I know full well that I ruined when I was younger, way back there. I know I ruined people for other people. So, do you feel like in conjunction with mama now, but you play any part in by not stopping something or not saying nothing like, how about that?
I think, to be honest, because I played Josh's girlfriend, which is like a best friend to Ron. And I think a lot of this is very touch bases on a lot of reality. A lot of females be around friends or people that are associated with the same friend group or things like that, and they allow things to happen, or they don't stop the boundaries or things like that, and it does cripple into other situations and situationships or things like that. And all the time it doesn't go downhill, but I think that does, we allow ourselves to really be toxic, because that's toxic, like, to be honest. And I think that my character, her background should have never been that. She should have never been able to make it to the girlfriend of the friend. But I think sometimes that's reality. Don't block me from my husband. So it's a good and a bad thing, but it's also, I think that for this situation, it was a good toxic, because it's the toxic, but it ain't no good toxic, but y'all know what I mean. And it's a better, and with this, I think it really was, because it was a simple fact of more so, they had a friendship, so it wasn't a friendship that was thrown away, it was an actual friendship that they could still be around, and it be a friendship, and it was only a friendship that didn't go past, and I think that's the maturity when it comes down to it too. So I think that they had a very mature friendship, and she was able to surpass that and be able to have a relationship with a friend.
I can't wait for Toxic 2 to see if we found out some secrets that was going on, but I'm just saying. Yeah, I'm not saying that that's what happened, I'm just saying. It could be. I don't know if you want to start writing that script, but it could be. I was paying attention, paying all the way to like, okay.
Taking notes during
Right up here. I told him, naturally nosy. I'm third generation nosy. I got this.
And as you saw, Jennifer peeped that. She picked up on early. So she was on it.
So, let's go over here to you. Because I know that you've already told us that these were based on, real people. A lot of situations that you've seen. Some that are very personal to you. When you sat back and you watched this thing, because you was cracking the hell up, okay? Was it triggering? Was it, oh my gosh? Did you have any moments of, did you feel heavy? Like, how did it feel watching what was happening that you knew of, especially the ones that you were personally involved with?
It wasn't triggering, because I've been through a lot of therapy. But for the guys that hadn't, it was coming around the theater, like, man, I've been there. Oh, damn, don't go near her. Run. This is like a horror for the men, and I'm laughing like this, like getting the message, the women are kicking, and the men are like, oh my God, no. And it's like a horror movie for dudes.
It's only for them.
Even the old men are like, man, she toxic, man. The guy was this old guy, just like, yeah, man, oh, she just toxic. Some old, he's about 80, just walking around, and then
That thing was
upstairs,
hurting dog.
and then a bunch
People
of
were
dudes like coming through the
side-eyeing their dates and
Yes, no,
stuff.
for real.
yeah. So he was,
Laughing at.
Catch a cat.
Talk about the person that came up like, this is my story.
oh yeah, my cousin's boyfriend.
Oh, snap.
I met Arlene.
Yeah, this is real life Arlene, and this girl took $300,000 from him, got him charged with assault, the whole thing. And that, and I was, you know, and I based that scene on somebody I dated that did that to somebody else.
Did y'all find out if it was the same woman?
No. But the fact that he was like, I did that, man, and so.
And this is Arlene. This is her. I was like, hi, Arlene.
So the main thing was like kind of putting dudes on game because there's a whole spectrum of dudes that just don't have the social, emotional intelligence to navigate or recognize this stuff. So putting it condensed in where you keep getting slammed,
Yeah.
it's like it's a pattern here. Most people stretch it out over years.
Nah,
Yeah.
yours is like,
Boom, 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 boom. And it's stretched over years. So that's what I kind of wanted. But a lot of those, because I was always the side piece. So women told me all this, I'm like, why are you doing this to this dude?
right.
He's a nice dude, and so that started to see.
Oh,
As I lay here with you.
Yeah,
He's
they
like,
tell me
"Oh,
They tell me.
There you go. One girl.
Yeah. So that's how I learned that. I'm like,
He knows the truth.
I'm
He's
like,
been there. He's like, I'm
That's
real.
right.
ruthless. So I was like, oh, and then find out the guy's a placeholder. That's kind of stuff.
Yeah.
And so that's where it all came from. So I was able to coalesce that into one coherent story.
So can you imagine how many men left that theater and called their mama and was like, you ruined me!
You the reason why I broke up with that girl in 4th grade and cheated on her with the girl from the 3rd grade. And all my life I've been doing that.
So we're gonna come on over here
The one that got away.
Right.
to you.
Uh-oh.
Shine the light on them.
So we saw you there dressed to the gods, right? You were all in it, stoic. As you're watching, if you got a chance to dip in there, because you was busy, let's be real. What did it feel like to you to see this unfold?
From pre-production to the premiere, like being in that and then seeing it on the screen, that culmination and all the work that you've put in, finally being seen by the masses. It was a little overwhelming, to be honest. But I have to tell you, like, I was really more excited for the actors. I think for those of them who have never had a red carpet experience, being a person of color, a lot of times you're not allowed in certain spaces, or you're made to feel like you're not allowed in certain spaces. And so creating a space for us, by us, thank you, FUBU.
I know, right?
I think that's always important, but watching how everyone glowed and how everyone showed up and were like, they did not need my permission, they did not need my acceptance, they came ready.
Might need your little sister.
She needed a sister with them shoes.
Oh yeah.
I'm like, don't buy the shoes the day before.
Oh,
And
no.
me trying to walk and she's like, they were cute. I'm like, I'm too old to be bending down.
I had to keep, because it wouldn't stay strapped like it.
I was like, I'm too old to keep bending down on her.
Like,
Time.
I can put this outfit on to be lean and stand up.
You should have slept in them shoes.
Right. Walk back
I'm
from
gonna
the
try
dance
Little
with the
dance when they be doing the little stuff.
She holding on the walls and what is happening?
You gotta get
But
up
no,
early and practice.
I was so excited. I think working with someone who has a vision and can see the vision through, working with Ethan and seeing how he puts it all together and how he handles the actors and how people who are initially nervous, how that resolves itself working with him, how you get the best out of people who may not have had a lot of experience to create something like that. I just think it was amazing, and I was proud like an uncle. I sent a message, and I was like, I felt like an uncle watching my nephews and nieces like perform on stage, like I'm at their recitals or whatever. It's like, that's what it felt like. I was just really, really authentically and genuinely happy for everybody that was involved in this production. You know, it's rare that you can get a group of people together that work well together, so well that you really like coming to work. You want to hang out with people. You want to like eat with people. You know, it's you don't get that all the time. And so you want to instruct people on what shoes not to wear. You know, you can only do that when you're comfortable.
When you're like a family.
When you're like family.
They created that family.
Like Shia, man, you know
What hell
what
way?
the hell? And then you need somebody. You need to pay somebody for that.
Look at her. Look at her.
Holding on to the wall.
That was cute.
But she looks
Good
good.
though.
But if you notice in her pictures though, there's somebody on either side.
I did the not the first. You first got in
Nah, it was just an amazing experience, and I've had this experience with Eric before, so I always know what it can be. So if I'm working on something else, that's my gauge.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And so this was important for me on a lot of levels, and I expressed this to everyone in our group chat too. But I thank them for kind of letting me in. I've done stuff. You know, I've been around. I've done stuff, but I've rarely worked in a space where I was like, I think about people. I want to be around people.
How are they doing?
I want everything to just be.
Yeah.
And sometimes my OCD kicks in, and I'm just kind of like,
Why you do that?
you know.
Why you wear that? What you put on?
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, some people have experienced that from me firsthand, and I don't think I always know that I'm in that space, but I think you can read it on my face too.
I
Like,
give you that look.
You already know, like, damn, what I do.
Yeah.
we did an interview like a week ago, 2 weeks ago, and Floyd, I love you, man, but Floyd came in, and them sleeves was like on his jacket. I was like, I was trying not to say anything, and I started like tapping.
That mental illness was kicking in, like.
So and finally, I was like, Floyd, what's up with them sleeves?
How long did you hold out? Like 20 minutes there?
Maybe 20 minutes. Man. I was like, oh, I'm gonna have a stroke.
You can see the process. If you pay attention to Brian, you can see the meltdown coming.
You see that look, and you're like, oh, shit.
Yes, it started that little first firing right across the brow right there. You can see him when he about to start.
But what it really is you don't get a second time to make a first impression.
Yeah.
And so, and because I love these people, when I was young, my grandmother and my mother used to say, when you go out this house, you represent this family.
Yeah.
So you make sure you have it together, you know? And I've carried that with me. And so a lot of times when I'm dressing or whatever, it's not always intentional, but I'm gonna make sure it looks good.
Put it together.
And I've been places where I may have been uncomfortable in an outfit and went home and changed or went home.
And then come back.
And then come back.
Right.
You know what I mean? So when I look at everybody, it's just like we're representing this project, we're representing each other, you know, and I just think it's important. It's just as important. And I said this when I was doing the wardrobe. I'm like, the wardrobe is just as important.
Yes.
It's another character.
Because
You know
when
what I mean?
I can visualize that emerald ring, like
Yeah.
that does not, like that stuck out to me. I don't even know what other outfit she wore.
You know, and it's crazy that you say that because somebody was like, when I first brought it out, people were like, okay. Okay, because they didn't necessarily get it. That's a lot of green.
Immediately.
That's a lot of green. But
She was stunning.
yeah, it was.
Came in with that gangster pose.
Yeah.
That was the 1980s mom who knew all her kids was dealing drugs. But as long as they paid the bills, they was good.
Yeah.
So you put them together because that's what I see.
Yeah.
I can see this every single day. Like I know all y'all outfits, I get it, but I know that's all I see. She could have worn something else on the rest of and that's all I think about. I think about about New Jack City type mom.
Yeah.
Because that's what she was. She just didn't.
Yeah.
Yep. She was just trying to get the baby. New Jack City, they was just trying to get the money. Well, she was getting the money too. So let's be real. But I don't think that too many people understand like that piece that you play in it, putting y'all in the right outfits,
Yeah.
the right hair, the right all of that matters because it helps you to truly be immersed in what's happening.
Yeah.
I saw it clearly.
It's
I
the
see
sense
part
of the
2
character.
from what I saw on part 1. Like it's there.
But
I
I
have
think
to get a
the
part
I
two.
think the wardrobe is also helpful in terms of the actors getting into character more,
Yeah.
embracing the character more, really learning who the character
Yeah.
is, which helps convey that to the audience. You know what I mean? So
Like that crop coat on the girl in the car. That was the outfit. That was the outfit to rock in the
That's
car
right.
with. The crop coat. I can see her with that, throw that little jacket back on.
shout out to Nastasia.
Yeah.
Shout out to Nastasia. She brought it home. She brought that
Her character came to life with that because I see that. She went in there, she threw that coat on the couch. She probably went and washed up and took a shower real quick, kissed the kids on the head, sat and watched her TV with her little soda, watching Ratchet TV.
Yeah.
Hello, and she was good.
Yeah.
Like I saw when you finished, you did your healing thing right there, and then after you finished that, you flopped back on the bed. Was like, thank God, because you had to release all of that.
Yeah.
I see you leaving after this dude and dragged you, and you like, okay, but I love him, but I love him, but I love him. I see you at home talking to your man, like,
That's crazy.
can you tell me a little bit more, like, how did y'all grow up? Like, what was he really like? Like, what's wrong? But I can see that.
Yeah.
And I can see the family that you all created within this. Because I can only imagine how difficult it is to say, oh, damn, that was a movie, now we gotta go home.
Yeah.
So that's awesome that you all put together a team of connected pieces.
Yeah.
Because that is the intimacy. Hi, y'all.
Yeah.
That, right?
Right.
That is the intimacy that you have to be able to create. Because if you watch anything on TV, a commercial or anything,
Yeah.
you can tell how you're going to enjoy it by how the people actually, you can tell if they was beefing behind the scenes. You can tell if they didn't like each other, they didn't like the script, you can see that, but
Right.
everything, the chemistry, right, but it flowed.
So I call it jambalaya love, because it's like,
I like
jambalaya is a mix of a whole bunch of different ingredients and
Yeah.
stuff, what I'm saying, little salt, little meat, little veggies and all of these things and all of the stuff, but it's like all of us came together, gave our little pieces of something, and it made something very tasteful, spicy,
Very much
sexy,
so.
cool, all of the things.
Right.
Mine was a little bitter at one point, sweetened it up.
Yeah, that's right.
All right, you know what I'm saying, but it came out great, so I'm grateful, so thank y'all.
Yeah. Well, thank you too. I mean, it was definitely a partnership. You can't have one without the other, you know what I mean? And so that mix, that jambalaya, let's eat off of that for
Tastes so
years to
good.
come.
Yes, you can definitely
But y'all
see
know
the,
it's still that hashtag Gemini movie. 'Cause
Well, the next one we're releasing in October. So now.
Scorpio movie.
No, Libra.
Oh, yeah, Libra.
I guess the balance. Yes.
Something in a Scorpio movie, but you can definitely see the love and the sense of family and camaraderie between the cast and the crew, which definitely makes a lot of difference.
That's why I like shooting down here in Richmond too, so.
Cause we like that.
I only been here for 3 years, and then I came down and I met Brian, I met Ethan, and then it's a small town, it's a city, but it's still a small town.
Big small town.
And people still move that way, like you gotta carry yourself a certain way and treat people a certain way.
Yes.
And then I started watching people on set, and it's like, oh, these are really good people. And then it just builds, and then everybody kind of gets infectious. It's like, oh, I want to be a part of this too.
Yeah.
And I like writing, and I'm a very introverted person. So I like writing and seeing everybody on screen kick ass and do their stuff, but I really want them to launch their careers with stuff like this.
Yeah.
Like if people see it, they're like, yo, I want to hire this woman or this dude, because I saw what they can do, giving them some chances to express some range and stuff like that. I really like doing that because I'm an old cat. I'm 50-some years old, but I can be like, yo,
50-something.
We knew because the way the words was typed in the script.
We
Like, who said Josh Turkey in 20?
some great. So we had to make some tweaks.
Y'all gonna tell Papa we're not gonna do this.
You want 20 and 30 something to
Uncle
say
Brian,
back
come in and talk to him.
Uncle Brian, Chef Ty is on. She says everybody loves. She says that she wishes that she were here.
Don't worry, we got you up in here this
Sorry
morning.
that we miss you. Shout out to everybody that is on the live, and if you are still on the live, thank you guys so much for tuning in. We will, the YouTube link is in the comments page. We will be moving the conversation over to YouTube only very soon, but I didn't want to cut it because I appreciate you all for tuning in. So thank you so much for tuning in and for sending love. So we got quite a few people that said great conversation and they love the conversation, and that's what it's really all about ultimately, is creating a space for the conversation. Because not a lot of people, I can't say a lot of times we find ourselves in these situationships or relationships and all of these ships, and we don't have these conversations prior to, and a lot of times it's too late once you're already in the shit. Once you're in the shit of the shit, it's too late. Sometimes you can't be retroactive and go back and fix things that should have been fixed preliminarily. Is that a word? Preliminarily, the things you should have done before you got into the depths of things, and so that's what I love about the movie. Because, like she said, how many people do you think actually left and were able to say that, hey, I can see myself in this movie, but walked away with it from it as a learning experience, or walked away from it with a think piece or a talk piece to go and have a conversation. And it starts with internal work, but then conversations need to be had also. And so I appreciate what you're doing in 3 years in our city, in just 3 years in our city. So thank you so much for that. Shout out to you. We have some pictures and film from the. I said film. That's not the word I was looking for. We're gonna roll with it.
Yes.
We have some pictures and stuff from the event, and so we are going to take a moment. I think we're gonna take a moment and bring them up. So let me get them on the screen.
But while we doing that, listen, Toxic premiere was this Saturday. If you missed it, shame on you. But I'm pretty sure there are going to be more premieres at some point. So you all need to make sure that you're following Cinnamon Brown Entertainment or any of the actors and actresses here. We're going to make sure that we get all of you're going to get your shout outs and get your spiel ready before we get off of this. Make sure you are following, liking, being a part of this community, because what you all just spoke about, and let me just do this real quick, because I want to make sure that y'all all see that this is a array. You know, the new Band-Aids that came out, and they have all of the shades of us. I want you to be able to see what this cast and crew consists of right here in this good old city of Richmond, Virginia, because RVA is new. And I'm from Richmond, but RVA too.
Yeah,
Real
Richmond.
Richmond.
Exactly.
And this is not even the whole cast. You
It
guys.
is not.
We have,
This is nowhere close to the whole cast and crew.
If you check out the YouTube, you can see more of the cast from our previous episodes. People get like, we want to see too. Y'all was on it and ready. I love it. This is for the people on our lives, but now here we go, because my cursor is sensitive. All right, here we go. Brown Betty, shout out to Apple Brown Betty.
Yes.
Oh my gosh, she was
when I tell you, first of all, she is funny, but her and I are like friends in real life. So I see we follow each other, but I see all of her posts, and I'm always hashtagging her posts Brown Betty for president, because she is such,
I would vote for her.
like that is. You heard it.
I would vote for her.
I'm getting the hashtag going. Brown Betty for president.
T-shirts, all that.
You got a whole campaign.
I was doing a little video and I said, oh, all right, now I gotta listen to her. I was like trying to get
so phenomenal.
My new saying, I need my falafel.
She's funny.
I love her. So yeah, shout out to apple brown fatty was like the best.
I know.
Yeah.
2 years.
She's
And she's going to Miami to perform this weekend.
phenomenal.
That's
nice.
Yes, I love
American
love
She's
her.
fantastic.
She is doing the
Love
damn thing.
her.
Oh, she's one of my sisters in
She
the
got
American
booked.
Black
I
Chef
was like,
Festival.
whoa, 2 years? You already booked
Yeah.
and stuff like that?
Love her. Yeah,
She honed that craft and she went with it.
She is hilarious.
She's
Yeah,
absolutely hilarious. We're gonna get her one here one day as well. So we're gonna go through the slide. Who, Brian, you sent me these. You wanna? Can you come around?
Look.
Can you come around and tell us who we are looking at?
Who is
I know
who?
this is Eric. Yeah, but I can't see the beautiful young lady that is interviewing him at the
That
moment.
is Sasha Pereira.
Yeah.
She
Okay.
she was our host for Cuffed, and she is our host or hostess for Toxic as well. She's such a phenomenal woman. So yeah, we will probably have her back over and over and over again.
Awesome.
That's our beautiful next /lead,
Miss Sunshine.
and our fearless leader Eric.
Right now.
Fearless leader.
That is our beautiful turnout, Hurricane Stormy. Looking gorgeous. That's Ty, Reggie, her husband, and our leaders, Eric and Natasha.
Right.
That is BK Fulton and his beautiful wife. That is Robert Brown Jr., his wife Karen, and actress Lindell.
Yeah, Lindell is awesome.
That is our other fearless leader, Ethan, our director, Ethan.
X-Evans.
X-Evans. These are the ladies of Toxic. And the makeup artist, Shayla. That's Dominique. The tallest one is Dominique. The shortest one is Shia.
The shortest
It
one.
was. I don't know where they went, y'all.
And that last one is Ethan and I.
They got it fit. Come on, Cherry Jane. With the gangsta posing on.
What's the next time for me?
I love it. Look, you was waiting for the moment to go on now that you don't got the money from the board. Wait.
That is.
Exactly.
Brian, do we put you to a unreal? I don't
You
think it's
do.
unrealistic.
You do. I be stressing. I be stressing.
From you.
I'm like, God, how can I show up without something?
Fashion police at the door.
Because if it ain't right, he gonna tell you.
Before we close out,
I'm like, that's as far as you're getting.
we know who everybody is and how to follow you, because I need for folks to follow everybody so that we know when premieres are happening, when Toxic Junior is coming out, and when the next set of movies are. No pressure.
By Coach K.
No pressure. Look,
Okay.
no pressure.
Executive producer.
We just need to know when it's coming, because I'm nosy and I'm ready. So we're gonna start with you. Know your next move. You never let them know your next move.
Oh, it's on IG, Brian, BRIIAN_David_actor on IG.
Brian.
With 2 eyes. Don't
2
turn
eyes.
it.
With 2 eyes.
Please don't get it twisted.
On IG is Empress Storm 444, 3 S's, 3 number 4s. And on Facebook it's Stormy Tiffany Williams.
Hey, Miss Storm.
All these beautiful chocolate women.
Okay.
My Instagram is Lenexa Denise. That's LANEXA. Denise, how everybody mama, cousin, auntie, baby mama spelled it Denise.
All right, Sunshine.
Hey y'all, Shia.Scott, SHAIA.Scott.
That's
That's
the
on
best.
Instagram, and on Facebook it's just Shia Scott.
Catch her lottery commercial. She always
Yes.
does.
And our Junior Lottery commercial now playing on Hulu, ESPN, social media, YouTube. You can do all that, or you can catch me on Swagger season 2 episode, final episode.
Eric Brown, and then you can find me at cinnamonbrownentertainment.com or Cinnamon Brown Entertainment on IG.
Cinnamon_Brown_entertainment.
Thank you. Come on, get it together now.
Well, if you put in cinnamon, it'll come up.
Yeah.
Yeah, because that's what I put in too.
Yeah.
And thank y'all again. Literally from the listen, I'm gonna tell you, I'm gonna be very clear. This is not my show. I'm just running my mouth only because this is her
It's
show.
our show.
Her show.
It's our.
I am a guest,
Who on the
but I like to
Every week.
Okay, bigger than mine on the flyer. My name's not even on the flyer, so
but a guest. But because I like when I rock with something, I rock with something. And from the day that y'all landed in here, even the first time that I'm seeing y'all, like it feels like family. And I don't pull everybody, you know, but I rock with you, and I can appreciate it. It is truly a family atmosphere. But being able to know all of the actors and actresses and the producers and the directors before seeing it, it really made it that much more like, oh, that ain't how she is. But is that how she is? So it was super exciting meeting on y'all. And this is not the end. I'm just excited because we saw the premiere. So I'm like Chatty Cathy right there.
I don't wait to see y'all again.
But we will be talking about it again. Because again, there's going to be more opportunities for premieres. Look, I'm just making y'all
We're
schedule
going
at
into
this
no,
one.
we're about to go into a production on a new film. So
You heard it first here, guys.
yep, Sundays after church. We go into production in September.
September,
Yep.
y'all heard it here.
Brian
And
will be
then-
acting in it.
Period.
You just and then eventually, you know, they gonna be working on Dr. Tutu. I just don't want everybody to forget about that. We got to
Petition for that.
listen. Be like, did you do it yet? Did you do it yet? So be looking out for more premieres to come up. Be looking for more production to come up. Center Around Entertainment. Brian with 2 eyes. And all of our beautiful actresses and actors. I genuinely appreciate it all. This is not the
We
end.
appreciate you too.
Let me show
Thank you so
you.
much.
Close that show. Go ahead.
No, it's the end.
Get out.
Look, Janice said, is this the end? No.
It's the end. And I think I lost my whole Facebook Live, which doesn't normally happen, but I think when my phone died, I don't think it saved.
Dropped.
And I think it did.
Okay.
Yeah, so now I'm gonna have to regulate my emotions.
Very good. You're controlling your mental health right now.
I'm gonna have to regulate my emotions and not throw
She's
this
gonna need that hug that you're talking about.
I'm gonna be so sad if my life.
But here's
is
the
not
thing, no,
posted, and I'm
because
pretty
who
sure
was
it is.
supposed to be watching at the time,
Yeah.
watch. You retain here. We don't have to always do it here.
Yeah, no, I understand. I appreciate that.
And they'll want to come back. They'll be like, well,
You missed the first one. Come on back.
Yeah.
That's right.
Do I even go live now? Is it a point? No, because I was gonna hit the beginning to tell them thank y'all for
Can I
tuning
hit
in.
it in the morning? Whatever. Okay.
So we are at the end of our show, you guys. And thank you all so much for coming. Like always, thank you all for coming. I'm gonna tell you thank you every time you come, but you are always welcome. Like this is an open invitation situation. So we're gonna be doing this every other Tuesday. I do want to say that. So we're gonna do this bi-weekly, because we don't want to give you guys. We don't want to give you guys too much. We don't want to overload you. So we're going to do this bi-weekly. We took the week off last week to kind of test it out, and I think it's going to work better as a bi-weekly situation. So not next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, we will be back with part 2 of health, and intimacy. We're going to get into chronic illness and intimacy and what that looks like, and what part that plays in a lot of people's intimate lives and relationships, because that, along with mental health, can be a game changer. It can be very impactful on relationships, on all of the ships, friendships, mother-daughter ships, family ships, husband and wife ships, all the ships. And so we are going to get into that. And I think, Brian, also, we're going to get into some things with you.
Yes.
And your foundation, because I want to hear more about your foundation. Can one of y'all just do that honestly? Okay, at this point, like, hey, so y'all, my phone didn't die, and that's not normally the case. But if you come back, thank you so much for being here the first time, and thank you for returning the second time. This is just purely so that you guys can know when we're going to do this again. So thank you. But yes, Brian, we're going to get into your organization. So briefly before we go, can you please tell us a little bit about your organization, the name, and what it is that you do, and then we're gonna let all of our viewers know how this goes into our episode for next week.
Sure, absolutely. I am the founder and director of the Joan L. Gargan Foundation. It's an advocacy organization. We advocate for the underserved, mentally challenged, and substance user communities to get early cancer detection screenings. We are also trying to change what that conversation looks like between survivors, diagnosis, therapy, doctors meeting patients where they are and not necessarily thinking that they don't want assistance because they can't verbalize it properly. Yeah, so we're going to talk more about that.
Thank you so much. I am looking forward to it. So that will not be next Tuesday, but the following Tuesday, right here on Royal Empire Network. And this episode is probably going to be an emotional one for me because I am a sufferer of chronic illness, and it has greatly impacted my most current relationship, my marriage. And so I'm anxious and looking forward to diving into the different aspects of that with you and with Coach K. Thank you all so much for being here. I am so super proud and excited for you guys and what Toxic is going to do. I know that Eric, you will be traveling, and so even in Eric's absence, the door is always open.
Yes.
Please come and join us because we enjoy having you here. Our viewers enjoy having you guys here. You all are dope. You all are awesome. And we like to just be up on the shit of what's going on. You just it's smart, it's laugh, all of the things. So
We shall never part.
Yes. But yes, every Tuesday is Talk to Me Tuesday. To those of you who are watching and who tuned in earlier, please, we are eventually going to move everything over to the YouTube and to the Patreon. We want to hear from you all. We want to hear your experiences for those of you all who are interested in sharing and healing. This is a healing space. This is a safe space. And so we want to keep that. Yes. We're going to get some incense. Can we do incense? Anybody got ask?
We in the building. We smoking.
Keep some common sense in the bag.
Get some oil. Get you some incense oil.
Diffuser, that's the most y'all can do.
We'll get
Plug in.
Get you some incense oil.
That's for the
Put it on your
absolutely.
put it on your purse.
I make the
That
rollers.
pen.
Yeah.
All right, let's
Yeah, we get high off each other. So yes, but no, bi-weekly we will be coming and providing this healing space. So if you are tuned in and you are watching, please feel free to leave your comments in the comment section and share with us. We're gonna get the Skype going so that you guys can call in and do story time with us. I appreciate you all so much for tuning in on the Facebook now. So on the Facebook feed. I like them a little seasoned. And to those of you who are tuning in on the YouTube, thank you all so much for tuning in too. You all can catch us here every other Tuesday.
On the YouTube.
On the YouTube at the Royal Empire Network. On this internet. Never mind. Yeah, you can catch us here. And we're going to get into, illness, all types of, health, because personal health, definitely needs to be addressed, taken care of on all of the levels before you can pour into someone else. And so that's what this is all about, being able to pour into your mate, being able to pour into your children, being able to pour into your friends. We are a community and we need to be pouring into each other. You can't pour from an empty cup. So if someone is pouring into you, return it. And it is a dynamic that goes back and forth. It's a tug of war, but it should definitely be a healthy tug of war.
That's a
It should
Libra
be
metaphor.
reciprocal. It should be reciprocal. And so, we enjoyed creating this space. Thank you so much to Love and Intimacy Coach Ms. Kanya Ford. I adore you. We're gonna bring something. Girl, you in this kitchen. You know what? I was thinking the other day. This is completely in the style, but I was thinking the other day how I used to sit in elementary school and twist my kitchen, making little baby locks, and now look at me now. I clearly I knew I wanted locks before I even knew it. I knew the whole journey situation, but neither here nor there. So yeah, we want to continue to provide the safe space. So thank you all so much for tuning in to all my loyal royals here and here, because that's what you are now. You're loyal royals because you tune in. You're loyal and you're loyal. We have t-shirts coming soon. Merch. Get your merch. And it's gonna be on discount if you sign up for the Patreon.
Come on, man.
Shut this thing on down.
Girl, no, I'm talking. You done talked the whole show.
It's time to eat.
Yes, you got to.
Did I say something about my food earlier? If I don't eat,
we're gonna go feed
I
the
need
love
some
coach.
spaghetti.
Go feed the love
I
coach.
be hungry. Hey,
Give you a Snickers.
I'm hungry again.
Not herself, but she
I got you.
my bad, thank you. I got Miss Sunshine holding the camera because I don't plug that.
I was like, that was always I'm feeling that today.
Soon as Royal Empire Network, we are here on YouTube and we are also on YouTube and also on Facebook. And as soon as we are on Patreon, so y'all gotta get all the good stuff on the Facebook. Yeah, get all the good stuff while you can. But thank you all so much for tuning in. Peace and blessings. You can follow me.
Yeah.
You can follow me on all social media platforms. Coach K101. COACHKY101. That's it.
And you can follow me at the Dessert Diva RBA. Put the RBA on it, or you can follow me at MSANGEL. Girl, let's be the original. You gotta say the original. There's only one with the RBA.
No,
but yes, we
yes.
gonna let you know Dessert Diva.
That's
RBA.
crazy.
They know me in these streets, y'all.
Somebody had bought me some of yours. Oh my God, that's so
Ain't it good?
crazy. girl.
Ain't it good?
Wow.
Listen.
You know how to
No, I mean, she looked familiar, but I could never put like 2 and 4 and whatever. But no, I didn't even, when I had her dessert, it wasn't even, I didn't get it from her.
You got it from somebody else?
Yeah, so they gifted it to me, and it was so good, but I just remembered the dessert in the RBA. Like, that's so insane. Wow.
That's cool.
That is.
Making life a little sweeter.
And I was staring at her like, oh, she looked familiar. Where I know her from?
That is their
crazy.
RBA or MSANGELSHANCAE. You gonna pick with me today? You're not gonna do it. All right. So thank you all so much for tuning in. Peace and blessings. You all have a great evening. Love on those who love on you.
Come on now.
Pour into those who pour into you.
Come
So have a
on,
great
church.
day. Pour into those who pour into you. Be non-toxic.
Be non-toxic.
Lead with love and
Or at
light.
least the highest form.
And if you toxic, detox a little bit.
There you go. Detox. There you go. Detox is important.
Or if you're toxic, audition for our next film.
Hello!
Put it to good use.
Okay.
Put it to use.
Oh,
Use your powers for good.
Sound like toxic.
We gonna go and love on each other a little bit before we leave. But thank you all so much for tuning in. I appreciate it.
So I thought this whole time that you were familiar from fitness stuff. Like, did you do anything like body by Maria, anything like that?
I know
Maybe
Maria,
the
but
ex
I didn't
somewhere.
do Body by Maria
Where
yet.
are you familiar though? Like,
You look familiar too, though. Like when you walk in, I don't know. So I used to have a. Did you ever